There's a myth in economics that markets know best. In other words, that infinite economic growth will magically solve the world's most pressing issues. But without rethinking our economic system's priorities, it's an idea that just doesn't hold up to scrutiny or reality. Thankfully, we have one of the world's leading economists with us to share what an inclusive, equitable, and regenerative economic system could actually look like. In 2017, she proposed the now widely recognized Doughnut Economic Model. It offered a hot new take on how to structure our societies, lifting millions out of poverty while also protecting the finite resources of this planet. Cities such as Brussels and Amsterdam have already embraced the donut, and more are sure to follow. That's why we're so thrilled to have this razor-sharp renegade here in the SDG Action Zone. Welcome, Kate Raworth.
What do you think of when you think of economics? Do you think of money and how it makes the world go round or doesn't? Do you think of calculations and long equations? A lot of people find economics intimidating, alienating, nothing to do with me. I want to change your mind on that. Did you know that economics, it comes from an ancient Greek word, ekos and nomos. Economics means the art of household management. Now, if we think not just of our own homes, of our own communities, our own nations or regions, but of our planetary home, then there could be nothing more important in the world right now than the art of managing our planetary home in the interests of all her inhabitants. And I want to introduce you to what I believe could be a really powerful start to 21st century economics. Believe it or not, it looks like a donut, not the kind that you eat. This one is conceptual. It's healthy and it's really good for you. So here we are. Here's the donut. Think of it as a compass for human prosperity this century. Imagine humanity's use of Earth's resources radiating out from the middle of this circle. So the hole in the middle is a place where people are left falling short on the essentials of life. This is where people do not have the resources that we all need to have health, education, decent food, clean water, housing, security, political voice, income, equity. These 12 dimensions, they come from the Sustainable Development Goals. And that means that every government in the world has already agreed that every person in the world has a right not to live in this hole. So leave no one in the hole. But as we collectively seek to meet our essential needs and our wants, we start to use Earth's resources and put pressure on this delicately balanced living planet. We take fish from the oceans, we log timber in forests, we use the soil to grow food, we mine and transport and transform minerals and chemicals, we create pollution and waste. And as we do this, we start to move towards this outer circle and we hit the ecological ceiling. This is where we start putting so much pressure on our life-supporting systems of our planetary home that we risk kicking her out of balance. We risk causing climate breakdown and acidifying the oceans, creating chemical pollution, air pollution. We risk destabilizing the web of life through losing biodiversity and species. And out here, these are the 9 planetary boundaries recognized by Earth system scientists as the critical life-supporting systems that keep this only known living planet in the universe in that delicate balance of life. So don't overshoot the planetary boundaries, because this is what makes life work on planet Earth. Now, if you put these two together, it sounds simple. Leave no one in the hole. Don't overshoot the limits. We've got to learn to thrive in the space in between. And to me, this is the beginning of 21st century economics. Meet the needs of all people within the means of the living planet. That makes sense for life on Earth. Now we can start to ask ourselves, how can we manage our planetary household in the interest of all her inhabitants? And I invite every one of us to ask ourselves how we live our own lives, how we participate in the economy, how we eat and travel, and the work we do, how we earn our living, how we heat our homes, how we save our money, how we invest or divest and protest, and how we volunteer, and how we make community, because this is what we can do to ensure that we are part of community that meets the needs of all. But also we need to do it in ways that we don't use up Earth's resources. That pushes us over planetary boundaries. We need to use Earth's resources again and again, far more carefully, collectively, creatively, and slowly in a circular or cyclical economy, so that we're refurbishing and repairing and sharing and reusing and recycling. And we live within this cycle of life. And we need to make our economies far more distributive, so that we share the value that's created far more equitably with everybody who co-creates it. And that turns out to be the whole of society. That means ensuring people are paid more than living wages. It means ensuring that the ownership of the economy, of businesses, of how public transport's owned, of land and of housing and of opportunity is shared, so everybody has the chance to generate wealth and to be part of how it's used. These are the foundations of Doughnut Economics. And I invite you to be one of the 21st century economists who says, how then are we going to design markets? How are we going to design government policies and regulations to shape those markets so they're in service to human needs and the living world? How are we going to create the commons of the 21st century that brings us together to co-create things we value? How are we going to respect and value unpaid household care that goes on, the cooking, washing, cleaning, sweeping in every home that makes life work? If we begin 21st century economics here, we can go a long way towards making this world thrive. So I invite you to be part of the art of the household management, because in fact, the way that we all live every day, the choices we make, we are engaging in the economy. We are 21st century economists. You're doing it anyway. You don't need the textbook. Be part of the conversation, be part of the community, and let's take action now to remake this economy so that it serves human life and the living world, and so that business is in service to these ends, that finance is in service to these ends, that we transform the old institutions we'd inherited from the old mindset, the old textbooks. They don't serve us anymore. We need to start with this 21st century mindset, and the goal, not of endless growth of our economies, no matter how rich our nations already are. No, 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 no. We need to thrive between those social and planetary boundaries. And look, it looks just like a heartbeat. How do we connect human health and planetary health and remake the economy so that we come to live once again and belong once again on planet Earth? You're an economist.